What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Sean from 4GLU, 4 Geeks Like You, and you're now tuned into my review of Supernatural Season 8, Episode 12, entitled As Time Goes By. Now, last night's episode started fans off in the 1950s. A man named Henry stood over his son's bed, and as his son, awoke to his father being there, Henry basically told his son that he would return later on that night. Now, I initially got a feeling about where this was going before even seeing any previews of this episode, but anyway, let's get to that later on. So skip forward a little bit. Henry walks into a building, and basically it's supposed to be his night of initiation into a secret society. Now, the first person who he sees when he walks into the building is a woman named Josie. Now, again, this is his night of initiation. Josie goes into the room where he's supposed to be initiated, and all of a sudden you hear screaming and basically acts of terror and horror. People are yelling, you hear like stuff falling over, and basically Henry gets up, goes in to take a peek, and what does he see? He sees one of his people on the floor bleeding from the eyes, and basically his headmaster is being eyed by Josie. But Josie isn't Josie anymore. She's now a demon named Abaddon, and Abaddon basically snaps the headmaster's neck. One of Henry's brothers, or one of the men, a part of the secret society, you can say, actually gives Henry a box, or what looks like a box, but it's actually a key. Henry gets chased by Abaddon throughout the building and ends up in a room, closes the door behind him, puts a spell on the door, which actually sends him forward into the year 2013. And the funny thing about this is that he actually tumbles out of a closet in front of Sam and Dean. Now, Sam and Dean try to question Henry because, it's a guy that rolls out of his closet with a bright light and comes asking for their father. So, they try to question Henry about who he is and why he's asking for their father. But they don't get much out of him because Abaddon shows up and basically threatens everyone in the room with death. Yeah. Sexy lady threatening with death. Can't knock it. Can't fight it. Why try? So anyway, what happens is that Henry and the Winchester brothers flee the room, leaving Abaddon behind. And Abaddon basically welcomes the year 2013 by killing, initially she uses one of her demonic abilities, which is to get someone to tell them or show her exactly what she wants them, what knowledge she wants to obtain. And for this situation, the hotel manager actually saw Sam and Dean and Henry get into the car and leave. So she looked at the license plate, got to see where they were going, which direction they were going, and after she found out this stuff, she killed the poor bastard. Yeah, I think she slit his throat or something. Whatever it was, she's sexy. I don't care. So, as usual, the Winchesters make a stop to eat with Henry, and they find out something that's a bit shocking. Henry is actually their grandfather from John's side. So that's John's father. This puts Dean in a bad mood because John told Sam and Dean that his father just up and left him when he was a kid. So, that sort of leaves like a sour taste in your mouth hearing that your grandfather left your dad when he was a kid. Henry also finds out that his grandsons are hunters, and he really doesn't like that. He basically thinks hunters are apes because they just go in shooting without asking any questions. They're basically barbarians. And he tells them that, they're actually a part of a legacy, a brotherhood, and this brotherhood is called Men of Letters. I guess that makes the Winchesters even more cooler, Anyway, a couple of scenes after Henry tries to wrap his head around the year 2013, the goth girl gets murdered by Abaddon. The brothers actually find out that there was a survivor from the Brotherhood that may be able to help them and shine some light on what this box or key actually is. After a heated moment with Dean and Henry decides to make things right by finding the ingredients needed to go back in time to stop Abaddon before she actually kills the remaining men of numbers and makes things right with his son. Dean isn't having that, so he basically stops his grandfather by putting him in the chokehold. That's pretty damn cool, man. But Dean is a badass. I guess he didn't care. Anyway, Dean and Sam awake to find out that Henry is gone, and this causes basically Sam and Dean to split. They go their way. Dean goes to look for Henry. Sam goes to look for the last remaining member of the Men of Numbers. Now, as we already know, things don't go as planned, and Sam, while in the house of the last remaining member from the society, gets knocked out by the wife, who's actually possessed by Abaddon. It pretty much sucks because the last remaining member, the old man, he gets stabbed by his wife. Go figure, right? Jump forward a little bit, and Abaddon decides to make a deal with Dean. In trade for Sam, Dean must turn over Henry and the box or key that he possesses. It looks pretty much over for Henry as he's gutted by Abaddon, but Henry fires off a shot from his gun right underneath Abaddon's chin. This bullet was actually has a devil seal on it, which basically enables Abaddon from going anywhere or transferring from out of body or not or whatnot. Go Winchesters! So anyway, Abaddon is unable to flee, and she's beheaded by Dean. And after that beheaded, Dean is like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna chop your body into pieces, and you might not be dead, but you're gonna wish that you were. Badass! Yeah! Keep the bitch alive, but let her know that she's gonna be alive, but in so much pain. Does this mean that we'll see the end of Abaddon? Who knows, right? But I'm pretty sure that we won't. Anyway, Henry, due to his wounds, he basically succumbs to his wounds, and he is dying in Sam's arm. But before he actually dies, he tells them that he's proud of John, Sam, and Dean, and basically the episode ends. So it was really this was like, I would say, one of the best episodes that we received from Supernatural this season. I really enjoy the time traveling, but it was a good thing to actually, or a cool thing to actually see that Henry was actually a Winchester and part of the Winchester bloodline. So at the end of the day, they got to meet their grandfather. Some past things got brought up, and some things got resolved between the grandfather, the sons, and John in some ways. So at the end of the day, great episode. I was really involved in this episode, really into it. And if I was gonna score this out of like 4, out of 5 stars, I would definitely give this a 5-star from this season's episodes. This would definitely get a 5 out of 5 stars from me, hands down. So if you guys saw this, comment below, let me know, like, subscribe, and let me know if you guys enjoyed this episode. What did you think about it? How did you think about John's father coming into the coming into the future? What did you think about the whole family getting back together kind of thing? And do you think that we'll be seeing Abaddon again? Let me know below. And again, guys, this is Sean from 4GLU, 4 Geeks Like You. Stay tuned for more reviews, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one.